for the, to order for the town of Lake Clark Shores, August 26th, 2026, 6:30 PM. Emily, would you please call roll?
Chair Paul Hughes,
Present.
Vice Chair Gerard Sanchez,
Present.
Board Member Deb Moody,
Present.
Board Member Wesley Cook,
Here.
Board Member Patricia Keough, Board Member Jonathan Thayer,
Here.
Board Member Antonio Dubois.
Here.
Okay. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the consent agenda, which includes the approval of the minutes for our last meeting on July 29th. And any cases now in compliance. Eric, do you have cases in compliance tonight?
Yes, I do, Chairman Hughes and members of the board. We're going to start on page 2. Starting with the top of the page, case 2026-216 is now in compliance. Moving on over to page 3, middle of the page, case 2025-791. Case 2025-793. Moving over to page 4, top of the page. Case 2025-794. Case 2025-795. Case 2026-189. We will need to discuss this case later, just to get an update for it. Page 5, case 2026-291 is in compliance. And then going to page 6, top of the page, case 2026-296, and at the very bottom, case 2026-311. That resumes all cases that are now in compliance.
All righty. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended?
I motion.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries. Please, board members, if you've been by any of the properties or had any discussions with the property owners or discussions related to these properties that may come before us tonight, if you would please disclose that at the time of our case discussion. Okay, the next item would be swearing in of witnesses tonight. Anyone that's going to speak about any of the cases, if you would please stand and be sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give and be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next item is
Okay, go ahead.
unfinished cases. 2026-215 and Biggs.
Chairman Hughes, can we take the agenda out of order, seeing as we have only 2 people in the audience who are representing the same property? It's actually going to be for the next case for the Barbie property, 711 Hayden Road. Would that be-
We're on fine imposition hearing, but if you guys want to go ahead and,
I move we go out of order.
well, you don't have to move that, just no objections to,
No objection.
okay.
None?
All right, Eric.
Right.
I guess we're taking case 2025-789 under status update.
That is correct. So just to give you guys an update, I was in contact with Mr. Doney along with Miss Emily Pearson. I was given permission from the property owners to go onto the property. So a reinspection was done on 8/1/2026. 4 of them came into compliance. The ones that remain in violation, you can still see. So yeah, you're still seeing ungrassed areas. You're still seeing, hold on, give me a second. Roll this over, next page. Yeah, I mean, there's still, tree stumps that need to be taken out. So there's some, but they've come into compliance with almost everything.
So we have the driveway in disrepair.
Correct,
We have ungrassed areas
correct. And the tree stump,
and we have tree stumps. Okay.
correct.
And I think what we said at the last meeting is that we found the property in violation and that we would commence fines beginning June 5th,
June 20.
June 25th, I'm sorry, 2026. Is that correct, Eric?
Yes.
Emily? Yeah. Okay. Is there discussion here? Anybody?
So what's still in violation is ungrassed areas. I don't see the driveway.
The first one is the driveway. It starts on page 2.
On page 2.
We have permits that have not been pulled. Apparently, we have oh, I'm sorry. Oops, back up. Driveway in disrepair.
Okay.
Ungrassed areas in the yard. And on page 4, tree stumps continuing to exist on the property. And as I said, we said at our last meeting, we would impose fines if those were not corrected by this meeting.
I think the fines were imposed.
Fines are imposed.
Were imposed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you probably want to hear from the representative of the
Yeah.
property owner.
I just wanted to get up to date.
Yeah.
You want to come on up here, sir, and,
To the podium.
well, okay, so you're,
I'm Eric with Virtual Design Group. I've been coming to the last 8 meetings. You guys remember me.
yeah, you weren't here last meeting.
So exactly. So what happened was, excuse me, I called Mr. Doney the day before. I had a severe emergency, family emergency. So I wasn't able to make it the following day. But what we had discussed the previous meeting to the last meeting that I missed was that we were under construction. I gave you guys an update as far as where we were in construction. And I think that we were all under the understanding that the driveway, the grass, the landscaping, and the stumps were all going to be taken care of at the completion of construction. So what we talked about was me coming to the following meeting, giving you guys a progress update. I wasn't able to make that meeting, so I called Mr. Doney and left a message at his office so that I could give him the progress update. And then he and I were able to speak the next day. So basically, we're 4 to 6 weeks away from closing out the project. The framing is done, the drywall is being delivered, the finishes are being delivered the week after. And we were basically looking at 4 to 6 weeks, but obviously we can't put in the driveway and finish the grass and the landscaping while delivery trucks are still driving onto the yard. So I thought what we discussed at the previous meeting, that was as long as Eric was able to access the property, close out those other violations, the things on the exterior related to the grass, the driveway, and the stumps were going to be carried out until we're going to be extended until the end of the construction process.
Just help me. Why can't those be done now?
Because if you do the driveway now and you put in the grass, he still has trucks driving up to the door
On the grass?
on the grass with drywall. They drive the trucks.
Why don't they drive in the driveway?
Say that again?
Why don't the trucks?
The
come up
trucks
on-
also crack the driveway. The construction trucks and the delivery trucks, always during construction, you do the driveway and the grass at the end. They're going to have delivery trucks with flooring and stuff driving right up to the back, or backing right up to the door so that they can carry the supplies in. These things weigh thousands of pounds.
Mhm. What about the stumps?
The stumps, again, you bring in the landscaper one time typically, and they do all the grinding, all the sodding, everything all at one time.
Didn't we give this property an extra 30 days when we originally?
Yeah.
Deb?
No, I think he gave them 6 months to come into compliance, and then
Th-
that was gonna be the June 25th date.
That's correct. And we came into compliance on all of the exterior violations. The only items that were remaining was that driveway, the grass, and the stumps, which we had talked about the previous meeting to last, finishing after construction.
So another 6 weeks is what you're saying,
Basically another 6 weeks.
board members?
Have all the permits been obtained?
Yes, all the permits have been pulled.
For the subs and everything?
For,
Because
for the subs and everything, I was informed a couple days ago that I couldn't put inspection letters in for mechanical because the mechanical contractor's information needed to be updated, but I know that that was sent in. So that was basically it, but we were writing special inspection letters and inspecting the framing, the insulation, the rough plumbing, the rough electrical. We've been monitoring the whole project.
and unfortunately, we were expecting to see you here last month
I
and you
understand.
weren't here, and we did not receive any information that you had been in contact with anyone.
Well, that's why I had tried to call and then we followed up the next day, but
But I think your first point of contact should be with our code enforcement officer, right?
Well, they're also, in talks with Mr. Doney. Mr. Doney, whenever I need to be added into an email, they are. So I know they've been having direct conversations with Bill. That's why once they said, hey, please get the code enforcement officer to the property, he has permission to be on there. I got the email. I went out there, corresponded back through email, and provided Bill with a status update for that.
yeah, we've been coordinating back and forth between the three of us.
Mr. Doney, I also that.
Sir, if you want to talk, come on up here and introduce yourself.
Yes, my name's Dom Hessos. I'm the manager of the trustee of the trust that owns the property.
Okay,
Mr. Doney, if I'm saying that correctly, had throughout a lot of communication, primarily contacted my attorney, Brenda Cox. I have been there for forwarding a lot of the messages over to Eric all the time. So that's probably why he felt that that was the appropriate contact for you guys and addressing his absence.
Now, let me just
Which
clarify
is
the
no excuse.
contact. I did get a call from Mr. Mills on the day of the hearing. He called, I think, around 2:30. I was at a meeting. I didn't go back to my office, came here, so I didn't get his message till the next morning. So I didn't know he had called.
okay. Thank you, Bill.
Just for whatever it's worth. I had gone home that afternoon at 2:30 and my dog was, my 8-year-old boxer was walking into walls and I found out that she was blind. Like right then and there, I had to take her to the vet and she had diabetes and pancreatitis and we didn't know if she was gonna make it for like 24 hours. It was not that I just decided not to come, but the dog was like a child.
Yeah, the dog is like your child. I understand that.
I had no choice.
Yeah. Somebody help me. Now this has been going on since May. Is that right, Eric?
Are you talking about the initial? Well, they were initially cited back in January.
January of 2025?
No, 2026. It says violation
2026.
dates 1/28/2026.
And yet there's still no permits that have been pulled?
Yeah, there's permits. All the permits.
Well,
have been pulled.
help me
Well,
with,
the driveway, the notice of violation was in December of 25, right?
So I only have the ones that came in into compliance right now. So I have those in front of me. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, we've opened and closed the demo permit, the roofing permit, and then we've opened the master permit and we've been doing private provider extension.
Yeah, so the tree stumps was cited on 12/4/25.
September of,
No,
December.
December 4th, 25. December 4th, 25. Is it?
Yeah, so it was on December that they were cited for, and then we gave them 6 months to come into compliance. That was in June.
I'm not against installing a driveway, but if have a lot of trucks coming in and out the front and or the back, the grass is going to get torn up constantly, especially landscaping. There's a lot of yard back there. I want to say it's a 1/4 acre lot. We cut down a lot of trees. There is a few remaining ones, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not against that. It's just, forsake that when it comes to, the finished product with that curb appeal and that nice driveway, the damage that would be done is gonna have to be redone. Every project that we've done, and we do a lot of them, that is usually what we do. We don't want to put nice pavers and then have a bunch of construction people, heavy equipment. It just doesn't make sense. But I'm not against it. So if that's something I feel that we didn't discuss on the front end is, hey, a part of your project, we'd like you to install a driveway on the front end because this is really unacceptable. I have, with other projects, we'll figure that out, Eric. But I haven't been super involved with the know of, okay, this is actually something that needs to be addressed. So I'm going all the way to Idaho tomorrow morning. I wanted to delay my flight, come here to make sure that I show you guys, hey, who I am and what we're trying to work towards. But the driveway is not an issue, so that we can bring that to compliance. I know how daily accruing violations and all that works. I settled with you guys since I feel like a while, right? That took a while. There was another attorney, I think, before him, but I can't remember. But yeah, so.
Well, my
With that.
opinion is that if everything has been cleared, except the driveway, the stumps and the grass, I think we should look to extend those for
Well,
another
the
month.
fine's already running on those though.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that when it gets done.
And he's
Right.
Eric, right?
Yes.
Eric, Dom. So if we at least cut the stumps right away, then I feel that we could put a quicker timeline on that.
Yeah, the-
Maybe an exception on the
tree stumps
driveway
can
and the
be closed
grass.
out.
We can schedule an inspection on the stumps and try to figure out how we can stop those fees. And if you guys are owed that, that's a part of it. You guys given us notice, fair notice.
I think if we give them another month extension, even though it's running in case something happens, we have that there to put the lien on it.
I don't think we have to do an extension though.
Right.
No, you wouldn't have to extend it. You can always revisit the fines later.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Is that at the end where maybe we can come back and get a reduction on?
Correct.
Yes.
Once all the violations are in compliance, you
Yeah.
then come back for a fine reduction hearing. And I just want to add that all the work they have been doing, all the surrounding neighbors have been happier than they've ever been. The neighbor directly to the right said that this is the best thing that's happened in this area in 15 years. The neighbor to the left, because of the trees and everything they're doing. So all the surrounding neighbors are very happy about what's going on. So just to give a little insight from the community is very happy with the town, the code board and everything. They've been expressing a lot of thanks.
That's good to
I
hear.
had thought we had talked about, because we were going above and beyond just repairing the violations, and we were really bringing that curb appeal and really bringing up the standards of the area. That's why we were gonna get that's why we needed the extended time.
Yeah, if I could just add one thing to give a little more perspective as well. If you recall last month, Eric said he could not verify compliance for a number of them because he couldn't enter the
He didn't
property.
have access, right?
And right after the hearing is when I got in touch with Mr. Mills and then his attorney, and they immediately gave access. And that's why the date of compliance was August 1st, although I suspect the work was done and completed and in compliance well before that.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
Anybody?
Yeah, I'd like to comment on, so when the fines were instituted last month, right? That's
June.
in June, it was June. Okay. That's when the 'cause I thought it started with the
No,
meeting
the-
missing last week.
At the last meeting, but they were retroactive.
Retroactive to June.
Right. So we voted on them last week based on last month, excuse me, last month, based, and it basically started with you not being able to be here for the report, and then Eric hadn't been able to get access. You made a call that took one channel to alert us that you weren't coming. So in a way, I feel like, and you should have called someone else. The call to the authorities should have been received, I guess. You would think we're public servants, we should be able to take the calls. So I feel like we've had the fines started on basically an issue of miscommunication. It seems to me, I'll say that that is my opinion right now.
Well, I thought it was clear that we here, or Eric, excuse me, if I use your first name, would come every month before us, let us know what's gonna happen, or get in contact with Eric. That's,
Okay, so
That's
the
what-
mistake was basically we've imposed fines because he contacted the wrong person.
I would presume so. He didn't contact Eric, we would have known.
Well, because he was given until June to come into compliance and it was not in compliance.
Right.
Or we could not verify that it was in compliance.
Compliance of the timing. When
We didn't know that.
Previous meeting had said that he could check the 3 sides of the property, but he wasn't able to see the back. And at the
Right.
time,
Correct.
all the windows and doors were installed all at the same time. So at the time, he could see the front and the sides, which was 2 months ago, and everything was in compliance. The back was also. But I think, basically the issue was miscommunication because I did leave the day after that message, the day after that meeting, I did leave a message on the voicemail on the car. And then I forgot to try that. So we didn't get the message. So then I reached out to Mr. Doney also to try to offer access to the.
Yeah.
property. I really do believe it was just, miscommunication.
Okay, so at the next meeting, we should be looking at about 2 weeks,
Very close. I can bring pictures.
right?
I'll bring
You
pictures.
just said 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, no, that's accurate.
Eric,
Okay.
what date is the next meeting?
The next meeting is a month from today.
All right.
So.
Okay.
from
September
today-
23rd.
Yeah, so.
You don't think it's not a bad idea to maybe consult with some other parties that are involved
I
before?
talked to Landy the whole way here.
Okay.
All right, so when you're here next month, you'll be really close.
Inside with drywall, yeah.
You'll be really close.
Yes.
Okay, anybody have anything else?
So we're giving
You guys?
I just wanna make sure that we're able at the end of this to mitigate the fines. So I think that maybe, like you said, we go a long way. Maybe we do the stump grinding now, and that's one more violation.
So yeah, once all the violations are in compliance, then you guys come back before for a fine reduction.
Yeah.
And
Anything you guys can do to work this out?
Well, I want to know what your guys' that clear expectation timeline, even with respect to the extension that you guys are allowing. In 30 days from now, what kind of driveway and grass are you guys expecting to see? Aside from the tree stumps, because we can get those out.
Well,
Those don't-
we want it done, we want it done now.
Weeks, we're gonna continue to come and we're gonna come in a month and tell them where we're at on the inside.
Okay, yeah, and by that time we should be close to done, so driveway will be done.
Right.
I got
I'm
it.
Be done.
saying driveway and grass is 6 weeks or so,
Okay.
based on Landy being done with everything in 4 to 5 weeks.
Right, yes.
Grass and driveway at the end, saying 6 weeks.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea if you can get the tree stumps done, stop that clock.
That's what I was saying.
And
Is,
just-
that's less fines.
'Cause
to,
that's less fine, you gotta
Reduce at the
mitigate.
end.
correct.
Okay, so-
And maybe you'll be done with the heavy tile and drywall and you can begin the driveway process.
If that honestly,
Perhaps.
that's like the last thing that happens. I'm gonna try to push as a project manager, but I can only.
At some point, you should be able to schedule that because your inside work is heavy work is gonna be just about done and you've already been able, then you're able to schedule your driveway to get done and not come in here and say, okay, now we're done. Now we have to schedule the driveway.
Do
No,
you already
we're
have
gonna
the
do our
permit
best.
for the driveway? Do you already have the permit for the driveway or do you need another permit?
No, I believe that was part of the actual original permit.
Make sure it is.
Okay, I'll confirm, but it definitely is on the plan. It's on
Okay.
So do we need to make a motion for extension to?
No, I don't think we have
No,
to do anything.
it's just continuing to
No,
run.
We hope to see them next month and that they tell us
But then at the end.
we're almost done, 2 weeks
Or sooner.
or sooner.
So as soon as you get the stump ground, make sure you,
I'll let Eric know.
Let Eric know.
I'll
They'll stop that
email and let
Yeah.
them know to go access the
Okay.
file.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
See one of you next month at least.
Yeah,
I-
I'll be here.
Okay,
Eric says he'll be here.
okay.
All right, nice meeting you
All
guys.
right, thank you.
All right, guys, thank you.
Okay.
Going back in the
Knock
original
them
order.
out here, okay. Is it all right if we go to
We gotta start at page 1.
Ann Biggs,
Correct.
case 26215.
Yep, there's been
This is a
zero,
fine imposition hearing.
there's been zero communication between me and them or them and the building department. Zero permits have been applied for, zero permits have been pulled. As of today's date, they are still 100% in violation.
So you drove by, obviously, and there's grass growing, I guess.
If you look at the photos, I took fresh photos for you today. It'll be the first photo. So yes,
Oh.
there is a mound of dirt, but you know, we're not going to hold
is this?
hold them for that.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, okay, there's grass there, but it's like patch. But when we saw that, it was all graded. It was like he had put seed.
Yes. Well, they're leveling the property. It looks like I can't speak what the dirt's for because they're not having any communication with us. But the grass has grown insignificantly from the bare pile that it was.
Can I ask something? I mean, don't get me wrong. Did we ever tell the I mean, we had the building inspector here or whatever. They don't go inside because obviously major work was done. We had neighbors say that they were taking demolition stuff from a U-Haul truck. I know this is a combination, but this is getting to be ridiculous. These people don't want to talk, don't want to work with us, don't want to show what they're doing.
And they've not put the garage door back up.
No,
When they decide to sell that
so-
property, the next family that moves in afterwards, how well or assured are they going to be buying a safe home that's been permitted properly? I just think these people do not like the system. They don't like authority. They don't like governance, I gather. I don't, it's very upsetting, especially I remember the hearing that, or we had our meeting where all the neighbors were here and then they were told not to talk about other stuff or because it's not going to be covered. Now here we are. This is getting to be ridiculous. Honestly, that to me does not look like the grass was ever done. We saw it that now all of a sudden, now there's dirt.
I don't know that I would put the next violation into compliance.
I think,
Eric, I think if another property in town, that yard looked like that with that big bare spot right there, you would cite them, I bet.
Well, if
Now,
you
I
also,
put words in your mouth, I
but
realize
if you also
that.
look, they
That
have,
does not look like the yard's been grassed in to me.
I disagree. That one compared to what it was.
Well, compared to the way it was, yeah,
It's
three
not-
quarters of it is grass.
It's not sod, it's grass actually growing.
Yes,
Right.
they actually seeded it, so it's not like they brought in sod. You have to have an understanding. Like if I saw a property without having any understanding, sure, but knowing that this was seeded and not sodded, which is a lot more work. So for this one, yes, they're in compliance. For the other stuff that we're discussing right now, no, they haven't pulled in any permits.
Would you classify those as bare spots?
Well, there's also pebbles and stuff, so I can't attest to what else they're doing.
No, I know that, but by looking at that, haven't we cited other places for having bare spots on their lawn?
Yes, but they also seeded it. So for the effort that they've done for this, I put this one into compliance.
But they seeded it more than a month ago when they were here a month ago, I think.
Yes.
It had been seeded and it actually looked better than it looks today.
No, no, the photos from last time, it was less than that. And actually some of it got washed out again. I can't speak for everything because they haven't talked to me, but just driving by, I mean, the neighbor to the left was probably happy because now there's a lot more grass on her side because the initial seeding, some of it pushed on her side.
Well, one of the concerns from the neighbor that I remember hearing was the runoff from the property. And that huge pile of dirt looks like it's a major runoff problem.
There you go. There you go. That's what it looked like last month.
So the
There-
garage door's not been done, is that correct?
No, but you want to see a photo from last month, as you can see, there was no grass whatsoever.
Right.
well, they told us they seeded it. At that
Correct.
point, it was seeded. Okay, I got it. I seeded.
Mm.
Now I see, yeah, there's some grass grown. Now there's bare spots and a big pile of additional dirt. What looks like normal. I just don't understand. If you just seeded it, why are you bringing a pile of dirt on top of there now?
Because because we're trying to figure out what's actually going on. They don't want to communicate with us. So we have work that's been done without a permit. No permits have been pulled. So I believe they've shown that they don't want to come into compliance for that.
So what recourse as a town or as a county, not only to do the fines, but honestly, we don't know what they've done with that house, if it's structurally been damaged or whatever. We don't know if their intentions is to sell it in the future. So
That's why they've been
what happens
cited.
with a lot of these people?
That's why they've been cited. If they don't pull a permit for the garage, because they admitted last time that they actually removed it. And there's a photo from the backyard by the pool area that I took that I didn't know that was a garage door, but the gentleman that was here actually, stated that that's what it was. So that actually gave me more proof because I couldn't see what was behind the tarp. And then
Right.
as per,
Determined that they could not put the old
Correct.
garage door back up because it would not meet code.
correct, it has to be a permit has to be pulled in. And from what the building inspector said last time, it has to be inspected to make sure it can ensure a wind load.
Right.
Just like the chimney has to be inspected from the inside and outside.
Correct. So that still, because also the chimney that they did on their own, no permits, no nothing, which
Correct.
requires an inspection inside and out.
Correct.
So my question is, so does the county or anybody, building department have any recourse where, hey,
Well, this is a fine imposition hearing, so where we're at is, are we gonna impose any fines
Yes.
yeah,
on these specific cases? And I have to tell you, Eric, I, for one, I don't know how the rest of the board members feel, but I don't feel that that is acceptable, that picture.
mm-mm.
Mm.
Me too.
And I would say they're not in compliance.
I agree with you.
And if, I don't know, Bill, what we have to do. Eric said that he
Well,
found it in compliance, but I don't feel that way. What do we need to do?
I don't think there's much you can do. He's put it in compliance. In order to proceed with something like that, have to be recited. But you have the other violations that
Right.
you can impose the fines.
So, okay. Well, I think we need to, Eric, you need to readdress that tomorrow, personally. So, no permits have been pulled,
That's correct.
okay? And the garage door is still not up,
Correct.
nor a permit has been pulled for it.
No communication.
And what else? Is that it
All we need.
before us tonight? Is there anybody who would like to make a motion related to these cases?
Lenient position order, no?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to comment on something. We don't have any business telling him what he needs to reevaluate. You should really actually apologize to him. That puts him in a very uncomfortable position. He's decided what he thinks is right based on his training and city expertise, that's okay. He knows what grass grows. These people are not doing that. We got other stuff to hit him with, but we can't tell him what to do.
No, I didn't tell him what to do. I just said
I think you should. You should
I said I
reevaluate that.
disagree with him.
Well, I disagree with that.
Okay.
You don't. We're neutral. We don't give a crap about the pile of dirt if Eric don't care about it.
Well, when it comes,
Y'all,
okay.
based on the information, evidence, case, where's it at?
First page.
026-215. I move that the board finds the respondents in violation of section.
They were already found in violation, weren't they? I think we need.
All right,
more.
that's fine. I'm get something going. Let's go.
We're
Vote.
imposing the fine.
Yeah, number 9, I'll do it here.
Number 9?
Based on the test, am I correct?
Number 3.
Is it number 3?
Violations ongoing.
All right. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-215, I move that this response be found to have failed to comply with the order finding violation dated on May 21st, 2026. And a fine in the amount of $250 is imposed commencing on
August
today, August 25th of 2026.
Well, the date of the original order was July
They were determined to be in
Yeah,
violation.
until, they had until August 25th to come into compliance, or a fine may be imposed,
Right, but the date of that order was,
July
July
29th.
29th.
right. I think you said, maybe I misheard. Did you say May?
No,
No,
we said August, right? August 25th.
The violation was issued on May.
the violation was issued at May 21st.
Mhm.
Was found to comply in order,
Yeah, but-
violation was dated May, yes, I said May 21st. of
Yeah, but the
2026.
order finding violation was July.
Yes.
It should be the July 29th date there.
Okay, I'll restate it. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-215, I move that the response be found to have failed to comply with the order finding violation dated July 29th of 2026. A fine in the amount of $250 a day is imposed commencing on August 25th of 2026, and such fine shall continue to accrue at the daily rate until compliance is achieved. In addition, the town's costs in prosecuting this matter shall be assessed.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Is there further discussion? Anyone?
I
No.
support
All-
that.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay. So now it would be 217. Page 2,
I'll do the same thing.
garage door.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-217, I move that the response be found to have failed to comply with the order finding violation dated July 29th of 2026. A fine in the amount of $250 a day is imposed commencing on August 25th, 2026, and such fine shall continue to accrue at a daily rate until compliance is achieved. In addition, the town's cost in prosecuting this matter shall be assessed.
Second.
Deb seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay. 2026-263, Valerie, I don't know how to say that last name, and Mark Allen.
Sir Stratus. Can you pull the photos? Do you have the address? Okay. The reinspection was done today. They were cited last month for the overgrown property and the hedges. They cut the grass. They didn't do the hedges. I haven't heard from them, so I can't give you an update from the owner's perspective, but they're still in violation as of today's date.
All right, and there's no picture for today.
There were, but doesn't seem to be on the flash drive right now. But I went there and I took very, very detailed photos. It's the right side of the property, and the hedges are not only uneven but vastly overgrown. So they're not trimmed and they're not properly manicured.
So nothing's changed
No, for the hedges.
except
no.
for the grass.
And we
They
gave them
weren't
till
funded
August.
for the grass.
And if I noticed,
The hedges.
we had given them response must comply by August 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So we even, okay,
So obviously it's,
they're not,
was not in compliance on August 10th. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-263, I move that the respondents be found to have failed to comply with order finding violation dated July 29th, 2026. A fine in the amount of $50 per day may be imposed or is imposed
Mhm.
commencing on August 10th, 2026. And such fine shall continue to accrue at that daily rate until compliance is achieved. In addition, the town's cost in prosecuting this matter will be assessed.
Second.
Okay, Wes seconds. Further discussion? Anyone? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Mm,
It'll be page 4, case 2026-189.
189,
Correct.
okay.
So this case has been re-brought before the board because last month a decision was made to fine them based on the owner was unable to provide us any information. She's since reached out to me, brought me to the property, took me in the backyard and showed me a receipt. So she was able to get the barrier for the pool erected on June 24th of 26. So the fines that have accrued and the case needs to be closed because she is in full compliance.
What did she secure the pool with?
It's a barrier. So she has it's not quite a child barrier. It's a little bit more sturdy, and she's working on getting all the screening fixed. She has most of it, and she provided a receipt showing that the work was done on June 24th, which puts her into compliance before a fine date.
You don't have pictures.
No, I don't, because she called me out.
What
the
about the
property.
fence that was in disrepair?
Hmm?
What about the fence on the right side of the property? You said was in disrepair. Anyway,
Well, the pool was unsecured. She has since secured it. Now
right,
it's not permanent.
right.
And, that's why she provided me a receipt and showed me that, parts of it are being fixed now. If it degrades or if it goes on past a certain point, because I told her she needs to stay in contact with me.
I'm just, if we put somebody that puts temporary safety or whatever, this is not a permanent thing, but some people like to use that as permanent. So my question to us, the board, and to you, Eric, what's an acceptable time length or timeline that someone does something temporary until it's permanently taken care of? I'm just saying, because that's a concern I have now with this property owner, that it's not going to ever be fixed.
And
no, she-
temporary was for life safety reasons.
Yes. And she's met that aspect of it. That's why the property needs to be, continue to monitor even after tonight. I said, I spoke to her today. I spoke to her the other day. She called me the moment she was available to speak to people again. So she made it very clear that, she's working towards it. She doesn't want to have to come back before the board for any more violations.
So have you been able to inspect what she's put up there?
Yeah, I went back there. She put up a temporary barrier that temporarily relieves a violation.
Okay, well, I think,
How long can you have a temporary?
yeah,
I mean, I don't think there's an exact time frame, but it can't be there for, 6 months or a year. It's meant to be a temporary, structure until you can repair either a fence that's damaged or the entire screen enclosure.
Did she give you an indication of when it would be permanent?
No, she said it's the same company that erected the temporary. She talked about quotes and all that, but she really wanted to just focus on getting the fine stopped because she came into compliance for this one. She's gonna call me tomorrow and I can discuss things further with Miss Downing.
when you're out back, I know you couldn't get out there unless you go by boat to see the backside,
Mhm.
right? Did you see anything else out there that was of concern?
I mean, not from a code side,
Well, that's what I'm-
the property itself. There's no code violations. There's,
Okay.
stuff, but it's not, it's not a violation.
Okay.
My question is, at what point is it not in compliance? With permanently fixed versus temporary?
I can look into it. It's a situation that there's been ones that people have done temporary before and within a month, 2 months, 3 months, they've gotten it fixed. Every case is different.
Can you ask her and tell us next month?
Oh yeah, I can definitely talk to her and ask her.
Yeah.
I'll try to gather a little more information.
So from the June 24th date, when it was temporarily repaired,
Mhm.
it's been 2 months already.
Yeah.
So.
Like I said, she would have provided the information, allowed us to come sooner, but she was unable to.
So Eric, so the violation was the pool was unsecured, so someone could easily just walk into
Yeah,
it.
it was a health and safety violation.
Okay, so that was the violation, and however she corrected it, she's in compliance because she corrected the problem. So the danger that was the problem can't happen.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And say in 5 years her screen enclosure becomes rusty and falls down and the screen itself deteriorates and it no longer is secure from the outside. That would again be a violation at that time, right?
That's correct.
So until something happens that compromises the security of the pool, she's in compliance.
Bill?
Yeah, I guess technically she is, although, you don't want to say the temporary forever, and I think that's what Eric's going to look into.
There's going to be something in the building code, I would think.
Right, and that would then become a violation at that time if that happens, right?
Correct.
So right now she's in compliance.
As of for the health and safety, yes.
Okay, so all right, so we move on.
Do we need to make a motion to rescind the fine?
You could do that. You could do that tonight, or you could let it sit with maybe a little more leverage to get her to finish it up.
Let's see.
Because the fine would, well, I guess the fine,
Well, the only thing is I need to know, and the property owner needs to receive a notice of hearing if this is going to be brought back to the board.
yeah, I'm just thinking if it's acknowledged she's complied on June 24th,
Yeah,
Does
if she's in compliance June 24th, this case closes. Eric's just gotta make it a habit to go by and check every so often, whatever that time frame is. Then you can cite her in violation again. At what point, temporary is not temporary.
so you could reconsider the matter and rescind the
I
prior-
think she's in compliance today. I don't, she's in compliance, so this closes. And
I
she's
guess-
out of compliance, it reopens.
Right, and I think the question that comes up is, what I would like to know is, that's fine, there's always temporary, like roof tarps and things like, so there's got to be a time frame, I would think, and even code-wise, where temporary is no longer acceptable. You have to actually do it and do it right or whatever. So that's my question. Is there something to that effect or whatever? Because putting a Band-Aid is not necessarily
No, exactly.
the answer.
But it's just like other things. Every case is different.
If an orange fence, or orange temporary fencing is supposed to represent a secure fence, that wouldn't be according to code.
Right. I don't know exactly what the town has in place, but there's a swimming pool and spa code which
Right.
requires certain type of fencing, and this would not. I don't know what's there, but it sounds like it wouldn't comply with that. So she would need to do that, and I guess you can give her, sort of a grace period to get whatever she needs. She can screen, and if she probably screened the bottom section or maybe the bottom two sections, she'd again be in compliance, permanently in compliance, but
Right.
And that's really what we're trying to achieve here.
Mhm.
Is compliant,
Yeah, Eric, do you have a relationship with her now so that you can go on the property?
I mean, I have to talk to her. She let me on, when she read the final order.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she reached out to me, contacted me and said, please come here. And that's why she showed me when it was done. So yeah, when she calls me tomorrow, because she wants an update about how the meeting went. Yeah, I mean, she's friendly with me. She understands that, there's rules and codes, and she knows that, we've helped her out. So I don't see it as being an issue, and I'll discuss it with her, and I'll see when she thinks it'll be fully resolved and, no longer a temporary.
right.
I think maybe we leave it up to Eric to
Mhm.
check when he feels when he deems it's been enough time, maybe.
Mhm.
Put it on his
weeks from now,
calendar.
Maybe 3 weeks from now, maybe. a month
Possibly
and a
even
half.
tomorrow. When she calls, I'll ask her if I can go tomorrow.
I mean, it's, to me, it's the same as people putting tarps, people putting, you know what I'm saying? There's just Band-Aid, that's great, but if you let people, you give them a finger, they'll take the arm.
Mhm.
So maybe we can
So-
find her in compliance tonight and also, but ask Eric if he could come back to the next meeting and tell us about his conversation with her and when she thinks she'll have everything finished. Is that all right, Eric?
I mean, Bill, if it's in compliance, don't we then have to issue another notice of hearing?
What? No, well, are you going to rescind the
Well, that's.
order
the-
imposing the fine?
If the order imposing the fine was effective on a date later than when she came into compliance, I think we need to do something to
you want-
memorialize that,
A
so.
motion that she's in compliance now?
Right.
And
Second.
rescind the
And
fine?
no fine imposed.
Yep. Would someone like to make that motion?
As I find the right one.
Reword it.
I'm not sure you're going to find it on the sheet.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
Ballpark.
But I think it would just be a motion finding the
Bless you.
compliance was,
Think Fine,
pardon me?
number 7.
okay. That may work.
But there's no fine to waive because she was in compliance before the fine started.
But
Yeah,
the
but
order,
The board
adding the
ordered
fine.
a
Okay.
fine, so.
Yeah. Okay, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-189, I move that this board waives the fines that were imposed at the July 29th, 2026 Code Enforcement Board and any administrative costs incurred because the respondents came into compliance on June 24th, 2026.
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay. I think we're moving on to new cases,
Correct.
26-289.
That is correct. Good evening. I'm Code Enforcement Officer Eric Richwagon, representing the town of Lake Clark Shores, case number 2026-289, site property owners identified by, real hard to say this one, Lisa Yil Epkanen, revocable trust. Site property is 1811 Gregory Road, Lake Clark Shores, Florida, 33406. Notice of violation was issued under code section 34-19 sub 9 sub B. The driveway needs to be repaired / re-blacktopped. The notice of violation was issued on July 15, 2026. Notice of hearing was issued and a reinspection of today's date finds that the violation still exists.
No communication from them?
No, I don't know if it's a rental property or if there's new people there, but nothing's been done, no correspondence. I mean, the driveway, it could definitely be re-blacktop, but it's definitely starting to deteriorate really badly.
I'm curious, I guess we go on record, was it Property Appraisers? Is that the address that we go by? That's
Yep.
on Papa? So I would imagine, if we don't even know, but is the address different than the subject property? I'm
I-
just curious because
I can
then we
check
know
that.
that it might be an investment and maybe these tenants are not passing it on. I'm assuming. But I just, want to just,
Yeah, no, it's the same address and the mail wasn't kicked back, so it was
Okay.
received.
all right. Well,
I'll make one.
go ahead.
Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-289, I move this board find the respondents in violation of sections 34-19 9B of the Town Code of Ordinances. respondent shall comply with the town's code of ordinances on or before, August 30th.
Huh?
Well, we can't, I mean, it was issued on July 19th and she hasn't done anything. I'm giving them 4 or 5 days to do something about it.
I mean, it's an extensive driveway.
Mhm.
I mean, if you look
right.
at the photos,
All right, for September 23rd, 2026, the respondents failed to comply with this order in a timely fashion. A fine in the amount not to exceed $50 a day may be imposed. The fine assessment hearing will be held on September 23rd, 2026, if necessary.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion, anyone? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries. 26294, Margaret Stewart.
correct. Hold on one moment.
Did we skip 291?
No, 291's in
I think that
compliance.
was.
They came into compliance.
Yeah. All right. Good evening, Code Enforcement Officer Erica Schwagen, representing the town of Lake Clark Shores, case number 2026-294. Site property owner is Margaret A. Stewart. Site property address is 7915 Edgewater Drive, Lake Clark Shores, Florida, 33406. A notice of violation was issued under section 34-19 sub 9 sub B. The driveway is dirty and needs to be pressure cleaned. Notice of violation was issued on July 22nd, 2026. Reinspection of today's date finds that the violation still exists.
Is that an asphalt
There we
driveway?
go. There we go. So this is the property. So I did speak with the owner. Maggie Stewart. Told her, well, I asked her if she could be present tonight. She doesn't drive and she was unable to attend. She was asking, so I'm relaying exactly what the owner is requesting. The owner's requesting that they don't want to get the driveway taken care of until they get the roof replaced. That's what she wanted me to relay to you.
Does she have a roof permit?
She showed me a unsigned quote, and that's about the extent of that. But discussing for this violation, the driveway is still dirty as of today's date.
Did that quote have a date to start approximate?
No, it was a quote, but it didn't, like, nothing was signed on it.
So it really wasn't a quote then.
So it's just that the driveway is dirty.
Correct. I
and
mean,
needs
you can
to
see
be
see in the photo, it's
Easy
rather
pressure
dirty.
Yeah.
Now, she did say she wants to pressure clean it and she wants to potentially paint it to mitigate it in the future, but I explained to her that the board may give you more time, but they're most likely not going to be able to wait until you replace your roof. And she will be calling me tomorrow, and I'll be relaying her everything discussed tonight.
to the next meeting to pressure clean it.
Well, right after it is the roof too.
Right.
So I'm. Yes,
I can see the roof needs to be cleaned, but they feel it needs to be replaced.
That's
You know,
what-
if there are leaks or whatever. So to me, that's not as unsightly to the neighbors as the driveway is.
That, but also one of the violations that came into compliance, this property's come before this board a few times over the last few years for prohibited outdoor storage. She has always come into compliance with it. This time around, she has more than just that. So she did come into compliance for that, and she still has 2 violations remaining. And the neighbor to the right, the neighbor right across, they are complainants on this property. So they have both reached out to me and they've complained about this property. So I went out there based on a complaint and found that violations existed.
okay.
Well, to pressure clean the driveway and clean the roof, they ought to be able to do that in 30 days.
Three.
If they are gonna have the roof repaired,
Then
she
they-
should present
Yeah.
which is, you know.
an actual company that's gonna
Yeah.
do it and when the work's gonna come, when it's gonna be done. So let's go ahead and start with the drive. I'll do the driveway. Based on the testimony evidence presented in case number 2026-294, I move that this board finds the respondents in violation of sections 34-19 sub 9 sub B. The driveway is dirty and needs to be pressure cleaned of the town code of ordinances. Respondents shall comply with the town code of ordinances on or before September 23rd, 2026. If the respondents fail to comply with the order in a timely fashion, a fine in the amount not to exceed $50 per day may be imposed. A fine assessment hearing will be held on September 23rd, 2025.
26.
26, I'm sorry.
Get with it.
Second.
I'm looking at the dates.
Wes second.
2026.
Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next one,
We'll do-
295.
I go ahead and make a motion?
Mhm.
Okay. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-295, I move that the board finds the respondents in violation of sections 34-19 sub 9 sub C, roof has discolorization and needs cleaning, of the town code of ordinances. Respondents shall comply with the town code of ordinances on or before September 23rd of 2026. If response failed to comply with this order in a timely fashion, a fine in the amount not to exceed $50 per day may be imposed. A fine assessment hearing will be held on September 23rd, 2026, if necessary.
Second.
Wes seconds. Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay. 2026-297.
Correct. Case 2026-297, site property owners identified as estate of Jennifer Leslie. Site property is 1448 Mediterranean Road East, Lake Clark Shores, Florida, 33406. Just so you know, this property has been in probate since November of 2025. So a notice of violation was issued under code sections 34-19 sub 4 and 34-20. The entire property is overgrown. It needs to be mowed. And 34-20 is the health and safety / public nuisance. Notice of violation was issued on July 23rd, 2026. This also came in as a complainant from the community. Miss Casey G. Boyer did bring it to the town's attention. She's called many times wanting status updates. She's happy it's going before the board. Reinspection of up to today's date finds that the violations still exist. Also, the mail that was sent to the property was kicked back.
It was.
Yes, and I have spoken with Emily and I spoke with Bill. We're going to see if we can't get in contact with one of the probate attorneys who's working for it to try and get a hold of the owner. Because I did knock on the door of the neighbor on the right. She was the previous realtor, and I guess she had communication with the owner. She was going to try to get me in contact with them. I haven't heard anything back. So we're trying to establish communication with whoever's taking over the property.
Well, it's obviously way overgrown. I know
Correct.
we've had the other public nuisance with other properties in the town. Why can't we just,
So
do what we-
that's already been discussed. I talked to Emily. We've spoken to the town manager. It is the town manager's decision. So the town manager's gonna look into it, make a determination. But that is an option.
You did say the neighbors were complaining?
That is correct. And there was a complaint about the pool. Unfortunately, weren't unable to see it. I'm working that investigation, and there are other violations on the property. So it's not just this.
Mm-hmm.
But for tonight, that's what's here before you.
is there a house behind that one? Is there a neighbor
No,
that
it's the-
you could ask to go on their property and take pictures from
So
the pool?
this
Because
is-
that's a new,
So this is on one of the canals.
okay.
So the property to the right, let me on there. I can't see through the fence and the vegetation. The property on the left, I have the same problem. I actually drove across the street, across the waterway, which is outside of town, to see if I can see it from the back. The overgrowth to the property is, it's so overgrown that you can't see anything.
Does a property that's in probate, such as this one, I just recall a few years ago, I think it was a state statute that when a property was in foreclosure, they had to register with the town or with the code enforcement department. I'm trying to remember what that was.
Yeah, back when there was
It goes back to like 2008, maybe.
yeah, back when the real estate crashed. But I don't know that this is in foreclosure.
Probate.
No, but I was thinking a
It-
property in probate might
Yeah.
have similar.
I don't know of anything of that. I know there were codes that said about foreclosure. But you can act on this property, and in the meantime, I will try to, or I'll get in touch with the attorney handling the estate and tell him what's happening and what's coming, and see if we can get him to take care of it.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll do it. No one's. All right. Based on the testimony evidence presented in case number 2026-297, I move that the board finds the response in violation of sections 34-19 sub 4 and 34-20. The entire property of overgrown needs to be mowed. Of the town code of ordinances, response shall comply with the town code of ordinances on or before September 23rd, 2026. If the response failed to comply with this order in a timely fashion, a fine in the amount not to exceed $50 per day may be imposed. A fine assessment hearing will be held on September 23rd, 2026, if necessary.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
What seconds? Further discussion?
Do we really want to give them 30 days to cut the grass?
Yeah.
Well, it says property is overgrown, which I think responds to the trees. I think I know where this place is.
Well, it's
the
in
back
reference to
now.
the grass, so because it's cited under 34-20, it's under the health and safety public nuisance.
Okay, so that would cover the trees that are overgrown.
No, not
Well,
the trees. The overgrown property means the grass.
Well, you mind if we have in the audience a town manager? Is that something we can ask? Because it has been, this has been a while, so I guess what would be prudent time? I think it's true, it's 30 days. We should already know. Maybe that's too long, or you want time to research?
I'll talk to Bill, but we agree. We'd like the tree, everything cleaned up.
Okay,
So we should include the trees, without back.
it says the entire property is overgrown
Trees.
and needs to be, yeah.
And needs to be mowed.
It's not a violation, but we're gonna ask the homeowner, not whoever their representative is, to take care of everything. But that's not what's on, it's just the overgrown grass right now.
Right,
But that's all we have to, but we're gonna ask for everything when we talk to Bill.
okay. I guess the question comes down, do you guys want a short time? But it seems like we're trying to do due diligence and trying to reach the
Mhm.
I'll second
Okay. We're all good?
Okay, what was the date to come into compliance?
that.
September 23rd.
Okay, 30 days
20 yeah.
roughly.
Yeah.
Is there further discussion, guys?
No.
Ready to vote?
What was the fine amount again?
50.
$50.
May be imposed.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Mm.
Case 26-305.
That is correct. Case number 2026-305, site property owners are identified as Bogendra and Canal and Sabita Canal. Site property address is 7522 Alpha Court East, Lake Clark Shores, Florida, 33406. Notice of violation was issued for section 34-19 sub 9 sub B. The entire driveway is dirty and needs to be pressure cleaned. This notice of violation was issued on July 28, 2026. Notice of hearing was issued and a reinspection of today's date finds that the violations still exist. I've unfortunately not heard from these property owners. I did speak to Lieutenant Fisher, so I do know that they are older. So I'm not sure if that's playing a factor. I haven't been able to speak to them.
Okay, they're in violation.
Discussion.
I don't think there's much to discuss.
The driveway needs to be pressure cleaned,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
And that's a concrete driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make it. Based on testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-305, I move that this board find the respondents in violation of sections 34-19 sub 9 sub B, the entire driveway. 30 needs to be cleaned. Of the town code of ordinances, respondents shall comply with the ordinance on and before September 23rd, 2026. They fail to comply with this order in a timely fashion, fine the amount not to exceed $50 per day will be imposed. Fine assessment hearing will be held on September 23rd, 2026 if necessary.
Is there a second?
Second.
Jerry seconds. Further discussion, anyone? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I believe that's the end of the cases.
That is correct.
Board comments, suggestions, anyone?
I do. I think the topic of temporary safety or temporary Band-Aids to solve a solution, I would think it'd be prudent for us to maybe talk it over with the town council or what's customary with Palm Beach County. But I think we should come up with some sort of policy or something in regards to, okay, you put a safety net like the orange temporary fencing that people put around a pool that's being worked on or whatever, correct? We all know that's not permanent or whatever, but we should know a time frame that we give someone, say, listen, that's fine, but by this time it needs to be, you need to put a regular fence or regular screening, I'm just curious, so we can be directed as a board and how we can convey that message to our homeowners.
Mhm.
I just, I'm just afraid that we're gonna go ahead, take these, they're in compliance, they truly are, in the eyes of the law and all that fun stuff, but
This is the first one I've ever had to bring before. Usually people have, been put in violation, they put up a temporary and they get it fixed within a matter of weeks. So this is the first one to go before still in violation, and then they did temporary. So that's why when the resident calls me tomorrow, I'll discuss it with her, see if we can establish something where, she can maybe let me on when it's been completed, so I can see that, everything is good to go.
okay. My second thing is I notice when we have homes with pods on the driveway,
Mhm.
I'm just curious, and I get it. If they're doing stuff to their home, they're remodeling, we got permits, or I get it. But when it's in there for months, and then there's tarps on the roof or whatever, when is it that that's going to be brought to the attention of the town, or when does it become prudent, I guess, that there's a knock on the door from you or our building inspector? Hey, what's going on with this property? Because we have no record and we're seeing that there's obviously things that need to be done
Well,
from the outside, from the street.
Well, there are some pods in town. Most of the residents have reached out to me if they want to go past the 2-week mark. Some properties have permits, so they're being allowed to keep them a little bit longer. If you have specified addresses, let me know.
There's one, I live on that, is 8023 Westlake Drive. But there's a tarp on the roof, the fencing, it's just overgrown, but I mean, it's, and I know other properties. So again, I'm just wondering, what are we doing? Cause that one,
Looking up right now.
but it's been months. It's
I
not,
remember addressing pods with another one that was on Pine Tree, and it was only allowed to be there for a short amount of time, and they had to remove it.
The code allows for 2 weeks, but if the residents call asking for an extension, and if they explain the circumstance, extensions can be given, but it can't be a permanent thing.
And then I guess in that same property, there's, you know, tarp on the roof. I mean, it's just a pretty evident, pretty obvious. So. And then we had the driveways, and don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of roofs that are a lot dirtier than these driveways that we've been seeing on the same street.
I think you're right. So w- can't 100% confirm, but I discussed it with Emily about the property. You're talking about 8023. We believe this is the one that had a fire over a year ago. We have to look into a little bit more, but that's a extenuating circumstance if that's the one that had a fire. But let us verify by tomorrow, because based on Papa, we can only see so much, but it appears to be that one, because you said it has the tarps on it.
Also, it has
Yeah.
tarp on the roof as well, and it's been there for a long time. I don't know, but you know.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the one with the fire. So yeah, so there's obviously the fire inspectors went in there, but a fire investigator, so that's still ongoing.
Understood. Okay.
Anybody? I have one.
Go ahead.
Maybe I should ask Joe. Flyers that are thrown in the street, driveways, yards. Is there a policy in town about it's okay for people to come in town and drive through the streets and throw flyers in the yards, and well, a lot of them just end up in the streets,
Oh, like the newspaper?
yeah,
or-
and rotting. Did the police department ever see whoever does this and ask them if they have a permit to come into town and throw these things?
I don't have any information based on that as of right now.
Yeah, I know there was litigation, there used to be, I don't know if they're around so much anymore, where they had the free newspapers and they'd throw them in your front yard, and it was found to be a First Amendment problem to prohibit that. And if you're talking about like door hangers, I know at my house with the election, we had
No, these
piles of door hangers.
these are advertisements in plastic bags that are
Yeah.
thrown.
We have a no soliciting sign right as you turn off of Forest Hill over here without no soliciting without a permit. So the town has a permit process.
Requirement. I mean, I just see even on social media that people want to know why the town allows that. Although they're not coming to the town and asking. But it seems to me, I mean, it's literally littering to throw this stuff in the streets of our town.
Well, that would be, I mean, if they're just throwing it out in the street, and if it was seen, that would be littering.
You have to imagine how small and tiny and just starting out a business has to be to that be able to be their form of advertising. What I do with them when I see them is I take it and I throw it in the trash can. And I don't know that we need to spend money on government policing that.
Well, Jonathan, I think that if someone is driving to town with a stack of flyers and they're throwing them in the yards and half of them end up in the streets and they're not picked up, I mean, you pick yours up and you put it in there, but I take walks, I see them.
Maybe we should go to the council and have a law that you have to pick up all the stuff out of your own front yard. My point is, we tend to knee-jerk things. You've obviously seen this as a big problem.
For years.
So it bothers me. I don't see it as a big deal. I'm
Okay.
different. We seem to have like the roof of the tarp, the house burned down. We knee-jerk on this and seem to go like, well, we got to watch out for that everywhere, when it only happened one time. Or something like that. So it's I think it's good to take things in terms of the scale of how bad this problem really is. And does it warrant spending money on it? And On top of that, it's none of our business. If we wanted to real rule on that, we need to get on the council or go to the council.
Well, nobody knows. So we'll move on. Anybody have anything else? Is there,
Nothing for me.
is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.